Saturday. When I was leaving now.
I know, I was trying to get
Yeah.
All right, so it is 7:02, so we will call our regular Board of Education meeting for Wednesday, November 29th to order. If you will please stand with us and say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for being here. We will start with Mr. Thomas Rawls and our athletes of the month for November 23.
Hello. First athlete of the month, Grace Blake. So Grace is a Valley Park student. No. So Grace is a Valley Park student, but through our co-op with Parkway South, she has participated with their girls lacrosse team. Her coaches say she's been a great addition, a great player for them. And for her efforts, she has received an offer to go play for Lewis University, a Division II school in Illinois near Chicago. Grace, thank you. Thank you for being a great representative of Valley Park, and good luck for the rest of your lacrosse career. Thank you today. And come on up, Austin. Our next athlete of the month is senior Austin Carey. Yeah, they up here too. So Austin became the first cross-country boys state medalist since 2008. He ran the third fastest time ever at the state meet. And he did all this while only participating for like a month and a half in cross country. So he basically just showed up and took off running. He had the wrong shorts on and the wrong shoes, and still was able to earn an all-state medal. It was one of the coolest things to watch. So Austin, he did all this while participating for our boys soccer team also, which was an amazing accomplishment. And then this morning, would you like to tell us what you did this morning?
I just enlisted for the U.S. Marines.
Thank you, Austin, for everything, and good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Up next is our students of the month.
All right, the middle school will be presenting 3 student spotlight awards tonight. The first one is for Garrett McCormick. Garrett displays great leadership skills in a group setting, and he provides thoughtful responses in class and is a great role model of the Hawk vibes. Congratulations. Our second spotlight is 7th grader Riley Colvin. Riley is a dedicated student who cares about her learning, is engaged in daily discussions, and serves as a leader in and out of the classroom. She shows responsibility and cooperation in group activities, and we enjoy having her in class. Congratulations. And our last student spotlight is 8th grader LaKyla Terry. LaKyla is always on task and participates in classes. LaKyla also holds her peers accountable. Her positive attitude is a breath of fresh air and always appreciated. Mm-hmm.
They're probably gonna ask you to go out and take a picture just. so you know. Picture, your exit. Yeah, you're right.
Like, you know, I gotta read.
Right. Good luck. All right, our next item is the approval of the agenda. I'll make a motion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Oh, sorry,
I'll second it.
sorry, there we go. All right,
We don't know
now,
what's going
yeah.
on.
Thank you all for being on it tonight.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, next up is public comment. Do we have anyone? Consent items are up next. I will make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Are there any that anyone wants to pull out separately or discuss?
Can I pull out 5.05?
Yes. All right, so all those in favor of approving 5.01, approval of board candidate filing timeline, which will be posted tomorrow, just for everyone's knowledge. 5.02, approval of regular session minutes from October 25th. 5.03, approval of check register for November 23, and 5.04, the approval of the district audit for 2023. Signify by saying aye. Aye. You want to vote? All right, and let's discuss 5.05, the second reading and approval of board policies.
I just wanted to maybe, a couple things I pulled out as I was reviewing them. Policy GHD, the reporting investigating child abuse and neglect. I'm just curious, like, there was a lot of information that I'm seeing like pulled out. I'm not sure where. Is it just trying to condense it or?
Well, I'll pull it up and,
Okay.
so all of these, just for public consumption too,
Mhm.
all these edits and additions, these come from the legal counsel at MSBA, so they're not things that we're adding or subtracting.
I mean, policy, usually you want to make it not so,
And you want it pretty
Wordy.
broad also.
right,
so
right.
that you-
So I just,
And I think
I
it
mean,
also
there's-
helps, so if you actually look on that one-page procedure sheet.
um,
And give you the letters again.
it's, yeah, GHG, JHG.
Okay, yeah, so if you look on the one page kind of summary sheet of it, so the changes are made because of Senate Bill 681.
It's the very first.
The very first attachment, it says
Oh, okay.
October 23.
Overview.
Yeah, so I try to give you a little bit of an overview
Okay.
because these do get a little wordy, but most of that was changed because of changes to two things, Senate Bill 681 of the legislature and then also state statute 5666. So just a few things in there, it just really kind of, I'm sure.
Come on.
So basically, we're just required to follow that same standard of use and reporting form and all the things that are applied in Senate Bill 681, Missouri Statute 566, which those changes have been made. And those are all made by MSBA.
Okay, I mean, I know
Good question.
it's a lot,
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure. And then the other one was the HH1, it's the new policy.
Mhm.
Can you just kind of explain teacher negotiation representatives, like union, not union, I mean, I don't know, I'm just trying
Yeah.
to figure out collective bargaining, I'm
Yep,
just trying
So,
to
right, so this
wrap my
is.
head around all that.
That's a great question. So this is moving towards a collective bargaining agreement, which really started to become more popular in the state of Missouri about 5 years ago with the passage of House Bill 1416 or 1614. I get one of those confused, but essentially one of the teachers associations, and there's several in the state of Missouri. There's NEA, MSTA, AFTA, and I feel like there's another one I'm missing, but essentially, for them to be recognized as the collective bargaining unit for the teachers in the district, they have to go through similar collective bargaining procedures, just like other unions do, carpenters, plumbers, et cetera. These policies basically put in place the procedures for elections, and then also, HA and HA1, then also put into place who can be on there and how they get represented, and identify the timelines and structure of negotiations.
And so our school is strictly NEA, or are there other
I would say primarily, we have a handful of floaters that are MSTA, but the majority of our teachers who choose to be part right now of representation are with NEA. But even so, to officially be recognized as the collective bargaining unit, they will have to follow these policies. The district, like a lot of districts, we've had a meet and confer policy for a long time. And quite frankly, a meet and confer policy doesn't really have a lot of structure or anything to it. And so really when the House bill came out 4 or 5 years ago, that was also part of it. So if teachers from one of those other associations really felt like they should be the ones, bargaining on behalf of the teachers association, there would be a process for them to go through and or challenge whoever is in the negotiations.
So MSBA recommended this, or is this something that because I see it's brand new, so it's not a draft?
Yeah, so, two things. So, we currently have a meet and confer policy, which says about 2 sentences, like we'll meet and confer between these dates. So these would replace those policies and put these structures in place. The drafts they were presented by the NEA to us for consideration. We collaborated with the NEA on that. And then we ran them by our legal counsel and MSBA, but they're essentially MSBA boilerplate policies.
That's kind of what I was wondering, if the NEA supported this, or if that's.
Yeah, 100%. They actually brought it to us, and
Good.
we've been in discussions about this, I think, since, I don't know, August or so. And we actually kind of went back and forth on a couple of things. We collaborated on some of the language. Again, the boilerplate is MSBA, but we worked some specific things that are in there. We talked about like the negotiation timeline, window, and some other things in there, but yes, they had their say and their input on it as well.
Good. Thank you. Sorry, those are the.
You're
No,
welcome.
those are good
Thank
questions,
you.
especially when there's new policies being.
Yeah, like I was like, there's no pending, there's no original date, so interesting.
I hadn't, because I watched another school board have their meeting and they were talking about some of these too, and so I figured if it's coming to us soon, we'd be hearing about it, but those are really good questions. So there's a motion and a second, all in favor of 5.05, signify by saying aye. Aye. One opposed? All right, on to the next, our action item, approval of the elementary gym floor resurfacing.
Good, you have a line and cheer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, no. We're glad you're here.
So sorry for jumping out of turn, but I do want to just take an opportunity to introduce Michelle to all of you and anyone watching at home or in the audience. This is Michelle Cheritage. Michelle is one of our inaugural members of our student advisory team. She's a remarkable, kind, and creative freshman of the class of 2027. She also is an active member of the cross-country team, and her interests include drawing, embroidery, and bracelet making. When asked about her motivation to join the student advisory team, Michelle's response reflects her unique perspective and journey to our school district. Michelle and her family are not originally from America and relocated here into the Valley Park School District. She's been with us since about middle school, and now, as I said, as a freshman at the high school. As such, Michelle lacks some of those traditional supports that we in America who have been born and raised take for granted and lean on in difficult times. And Michelle is driven by a profound sense of responsibility to carve out a successful future for herself and the generations that follow her. In her own words, Michelle believes that her imprint has to be deep enough to replace the missing piece from her history. The profound sense of purpose and determination make Michelle a standout person to represent the students of Valley Park. So please join me in thanking Michelle and welcome Michelle to our student advisory. Okay.
Tell you about the speech? Thank you for being here.
So, Dr. Dilger, we
Yes.
can have anything on the agenda, like time or something, like if they have a concern or they want to bring something forward or just
Yeah.
talk about something?
Yeah,
or-
all things. So first of all, student advisory team members, just like you can comment on any of the items on the agenda. So we meet with the student advisory team, just met yesterday to review the agenda, get input on a couple items and have the opportunity. So they also are prepared then when they are the ones sitting here. And then typically they will also be the ones presenting the students of the month for the schools now as well. So we'll have that as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. Oh, and I can plug, Michelle and others, will be co-facilitating and spotlighted on our new podcast. So we recorded our first episode with Angelina today. That'll be going live very soon. We're gonna highlight the student advisory team members first individually on those podcasts. But then as we continue to evolve, we'll work in some of our teacher spotlights from our Teacher Proud Tuesday opportunities, some of our athletes, some of the kids we're recognizing each month too. Just another way to communicate with the community as well. Awesome. You'll learn more about Michelle Linton.
Right. I love it so much. Very cool. No. we'd like-
I'm sorry, yes,
No.
sorry.
All right. I will make a motion. May I have a second? So we need-
What?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, 6.01, the approval of the gym floor resurfacing, or do we need a presentation first?
No.
Okay, okay. I don't think so, but it was very confusing. I said that's not-
I'll second it.
confused. Okay, so, all right.
Do we want to just?
Yes, I was gonna say.
Okay.
Is it possible to pull that up on the screen just so that we can show everybody what we've seen? So. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'll just speak to it a little bit. Our goal here is, apparently the gym floor has not been resurfaced for several years. It's lost its shine. It's having significant wax peeling, is posing some safety concerns. So we are concerned that with uneven spots, the wax peeling and unsafe playing surfaces that we might need to be looking at doing some upkeep, which will include like sanding, painting and refinishing it. To ensure that it's safe and ready to go for our school and students. And any other things. My understanding is they consulted, or Mr. Rawls consulted with coaches and the other staff to kind of design the new floor, which will resemble our new field house floor. With just a smaller version of the Hawk logo.
Well, less detail.
Yeah. Less detail. It's also a smaller floor than it, so.
Right, bigger.
Bigger.
Bigger, actually.
Yeah, it's bigger than what's surrounding.
Yeah.
The surrounding,
Space,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bigger, but there'll be just less detail on the floor.
Think to remember too, it's worn and torn because it gets a lot of use.
I was like, it is
I
constantly
mean,
used.
The play,
Yeah, right, I mean,
assembly,
just
yeah.
assemblies
Yeah,
and,
everyday
Elementary
PE,
PE,
DNR
yeah,
basketball, pretty
yeah,
much every weekend
yeah, so
between
it,
now and
yeah.
it gets a lot of use.
I think we're
Yes, yeah.
probably using in our basketball team, so. I
Spelling
think
bees,
it's literally,
bees.
we're busy with it.
Yeah, it gets a lot of use.
And it was looking like the overall cost.
Yeah, so, we're recommending a company called, Charles Lubert Hardwood Floors. We tried to get the person that did the field house floor this summer because he did a great job. Unfortunately, that was pretty much his last floor before retiring. He recommended this company, which has done a lot of not only high school floors, but the current practice gym floor up in the zoo, the main playing surface at Northwest Missouri State, University. So they're very well known as well and came in competitively bidded at $28,775. Similar process to what we did at the field house. We literally will take it all down to the wood, sand it all the way down and then stain it, paint it and everything.
And how long will that last?
I mean, as long as we take care of it, it should definitely last 8 to 10 years before you have to do it again. But I mean, a lot of that's all dependent on use, what type of shoes you wear on the floor, all those different things that can.
And when was the last time we did this? And can anybody remember? Was
No.
anybody
Yeah.
here?
Much like a lot of things, we only have kind of folklore to rely on.
Okay, because I got nothing.
And
All right.
we did, he kind of, a lot of folklore about when it was redone, long time ago.
Okay.
And right now, even, I think even recently, there's been, and we had this at the middle, or the field house as well, like big strips of wax are literally peeling off, like saran wrap almost. It's definitely done.
And I might add, being at the games, just, I don't know if you guys have gotten it, but, people absolutely love the floor and the field house.
yeah,
That, I mean, I've heard more people, floor looks great, floor, and it does, it
It
looks
does.
really,
And
really
we said
nice.
this, even people from other schools.
Yeah,
are
so,
commenting.
other schools are commenting, and then I actually had a friend out of state who was turning it on, thinking, our boys were playing, and he commented about just how amazing, and I said, well, you gotta see it in person.
I was like, it's even prettier in person.
It's
We can't get that guy out of retirement.
And I do wanna say again, that the guy that did the field house floor, he hand painted that hawk in the middle.
Wow,
It's really hard to believe and think about the size and scope.
yeah, that is
It's beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah.
We drove it out.
You kind of can't stand for it. But it-
So let this new guy know we have really high
High expectations.
expectations, yeah.
No pressure, but all the
Yes.
pressure. All right.
Oh, and so this will take place in the summer, just like the field house, so there'll be no disruption to school or athletics.
Anything else for the good of the group?
No.
All right, all those in favor of approval of the elementary gym floor resurfacing, signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye. Aye as well. All right, on to public comment for non-agenda items. Seeing none, I will make a motion to adjourn.
second, oh, sorry.
I'll start with you.
I,
Aye.
I,
I am an aye as well. We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
thank you.